Welcome to Motherhood and Homemaking. Here we are in the final week of our 30 Days to a Peaceful Home and Heart Simple and Intentional Living Challenge. For the past 3 weeks, we've spent time decluttering, simplifying our schedules, and learning about contentment. And now it is time for us to focus on living intentionally. And living intentionally isn't just about having a clean home or even a simpler schedule. So today I am going to be taking you guys along with me as I tidy up my bedroom and prepare for a new week. If you are new here, my name is Heaven, and here on this channel you can find cleaning videos, home organization, shopping hauls, grocery hauls, homemaking content, as well as the occasional day in the life and homeschool vlog as well. If you are looking for some homemaking inspiration and some motherhood motivation, I try to keep it very helpful, realistic, and relatable around here, and I would absolutely love for you to subscribe and join the family. But for today, let's go ahead and dive into today's Clean With Me and Homemaking Challenge. As always, I am going to be starting us off with the Bible verse. Proverbs chapter 16 verse 3 says, "Commit to the Lord whatever you do, and He will establish your plans." That includes the way we care for our home, our time, and our hearts. The purpose of this challenge has been to shed off some of the things that's just unnecessary to make room for more of what truly matters. So, for day 1 of week 4 in our challenge, or day 22 of 30, we were tasked with reevaluating our priorities and finding out what truly matters. That required us to take a step back and reflect on what matters in our home and in our lives. It's so easy to get caught up in the busy, the clutter, the never-ending to-do list, but when we slow down and realign with our values, we make space for what actually fills our hearts. For me, that was about letting completely go of a small business that I've ran for about 4 to 5 years. I have felt so much joy in my homemaking, as well as creating content surrounding that, as well as in motherhood. And so that's what matters most to me. Serving God, my family, my marriage, my children, all of these things are my priorities and what matters most to me. As you clean up your home this week and as you just go about your daily life, I want to encourage you to ask yourself, in everything that you're doing, does it align with the life that you want to create? Does it reflect the home you want to build? And just invite God in helping you figure out what your plans and priorities are. Day 2 was to simplify our home and remove visual clutter, because too much visual clutter can create a sense of overwhelm, making our space feel busier than it needs to be. And sometimes it also feels a lot more smaller when there's just a lot of decor. It's also more for us to dust, more for us to keep up with. So it also takes up more of our time. Take some time to just look around and ask yourself, what truly brings warmth and purpose in your space, and what could you let go of to create more space? For me, I've removed some decor off of my wall, and some of that was even like old family photos that were inside of picture frames that I wasn't a fan of. I love the photos, didn't like the picture frames, and I'll always have those pictures that I can print off of later. I also got rid of some pieces that I thrifted a few years back when I was in my one person's trash is another person's treasure phase, when it turned out I actually didn't treasure it that much. So I got rid of a ton of home decor, especially off of my walls. Even some small changes like cleaning off surfaces, choosing meaningful pieces, or just simplifying a corner can definitely shift the entire atmosphere of a room. Day 3 was about choosing quality over quantity and purchases, because it's so easy to fill our home up with things, but not everything adds value. So as we clean our homes, I want us to think about what we bring into our homes. Instead of grabbing the cheapest or trendiest thing, when you actually focus on decluttering and letting go of things, and you make this a lifestyle, you make room for just like a few of your favorite pieces. When I buy things that's like trendy at the moment, later down the line I find myself getting rid of it because it's just not trendy anymore. And when I find myself buying something that's cheap at the moment, later down the line, I'm just rebuying the same thing over and over and over again because it just didn't last. The same thing applies to how we spend our time and our energy. Less but better. So buy less things but better things, because when you think about it, it will equate to the same. So let's be intentional about what we allow in our space as well as in our lives. Day 4, we were tasked with reusing or repurposing. Stewardship is a big part of intentional living. Instead of always looking for new things, sometimes we can just ask ourselves, what if we work with what we already have? It could be repurposing like an old basket for storage, or it could just be about being content with what we already have in our home. For me, it was repurposing some old containers. I felt myself feeling like I needed to buy more storage containers, and then I remembered, okay, that means that I just have too much stuff. So instead of buying more containers, I figured out what can I let go of and get rid of. And then once I got rid of what was inside of those containers, I repurposed them and used them for the things that I wanted to keep. So let's try to embrace a heart of resourcefulness and gratitude today and figure out how can we steward the things that we already have. Day 5 was to declutter our digital life. And that could be deleting out emails, organizing files, or setting boundaries with screen time. That is what it was for me. And as we do that, try to make room for more of what lifts us up and less of what distracts us from what really matters. Day 6 was to establish a family Sabbath or rest day, and that was something that I have committed to more recently. It was always something that I wanted to do, but I didn't actually take it serious. So now every Sunday I don't do anything but spend that time serving the Lord and spending time with my family. I don't do any work, I don't do any cleaning. I just spend time with family and God and resting and resetting and reflecting on the previous week, preparing for the upcoming week. Our world really does glorify busyness, but God designed us to work but also to rest as well. So let's try to consider setting aside a day or even just a few intentional hours where we just take some time and just pause and spend time with the Lord and spend time with our family as well. Remembering the Sabbath day as the Lord calls us to do, keeping it holy, and remembering that rest isn't lazy, but it is necessary. And for day 7, the last day of our challenge, but really what is just the beginning, was to set a long-term minimalism goal for our home and our hearts. So in this challenge, I realized that I am truly a work in progress. It has been 30 days of simplifying my home and my life and decluttering, and there is still so much more work for me to do. So setting those long-term goals was really important for me. We can just take a look at some of the things that we've done over the past 30 days and figure out what habits we want to keep. Where can we continue to declutter and simplify our lives? But most of all, just keep our hearts focused on why we are doing this, and not just for a tidier home, but for a life of peace, purpose, and faith, and doing things that truly matter, spending time with the people that matters most to us. Another Bible verse to close us out, Matthew chapter 6 verse 33 says, "Seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well." When we put God first, everything else falls into place as well. As we finish this challenge, let's not just think of it as done. Let's carry these lessons forward. Choose simplicity, peace, and purpose, not just for a few weeks, not just for 30 days, but as a way of life. And most of all, let's invite God into it, trusting him to guide our hearts and guide our home. Our home does not have to be perfect. Our to-do list does not have to be finished. What matters is the love and the care we pour into our space and the people in it. That is what makes our house a home. I hope that you guys enjoyed this motivational cleaning video as well as this 30-day challenge if you followed along. If you did, I hope that you would give this video a thumbs up. And if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe for more motherhood motivation and homemaking inspiration as well. But that's going to be all for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one. Happy homemaking.